Hello and welcome to the next video. In this video, we are going to discuss data pre-processing for data cleaning, data wrangling, data imputation. So let's start with the data set. As we know, data set could be your SQL tables, or it could be your CSV file, or it could be your Excel file. It could be anything. So for that, there are different approaches. We have to clean our data. Why we need to clean our data? Why we need a data pre-processing? So as we know, we are reading a data from a different sites, or we have data from the in the case of SQL, we have some null value, or we have some inconsistency of data. So that's why we have to clean our data before feeding that data to our models. So there are three kinds of value that could be occur in our data set. That could be a standard missing, or that could be a non-standard missing, or that could be a unexpected missing value. So that's why we call a missing value, because if there is a null value, we call it a missing value in a data set, because that is not a accurate value in the data set. So that's why we have considered a missing value. And the non-standard missing value, suppose we have uh, suppose we are entering suppose we are reading the data from the different website, and in one website people are using n a n is a missing value for the null value, and some are using a dash 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 for the missing value, and some are using a might be na only for the null value, or some are using a proper nu and nu double l null for the missing value. Some are using nul in a small case. So these are different approaches, and that is a non-standard missing value. So there is no standard for the data. And the another is a unexpected missing value. Suppose we have a one column that is might be your age column, or might be your date of birth column, and it could be anything of your column. I mean, in the feature column, in the feature. So in that case, we were assuming that, suppose in the case of age, suppose we are assuming a value in only in integer value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 100 might be, or 150. And unfortunately, our data set contain 1.5, or might be to contain a ABC, that we were never expecting in the case of age. That is an unexpected missing, right? To how to fix, or how to adjust the missing value, we will use a different approach. We will use a replacing, we will use a medium, we will use a mean approach, or we use a mode approach. So the replacing, as the name suggests, it will just replace a value with the specific value. Medium is a middle of your value, I mean the middle of your data set. It will arrange the data set and then get that value in from the middle. And the mean, it how it will work, it will, if you have a thousand of record, might be the 10 of 10, 100 or 50 record, you have to just sum all the value and then divide by total numbers of your record, the total number of your total count of your row. And then the mode is suppose we have a value, might be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. In the case of suppose the row, we have a thousand of row, and in the case of suppose age, we have a most occurrence value of might be 25 or 30. And we will want the mode value, so that the which age is occurrence, or which is occurrence value in this particular column. So that will be the mode. So we will replace the missing value with the mode value, right? So this is just a introduction of the overall data wrangling in the feature imputation. So let's come to the point. So if you want to guys just learn what the basic, here is just a difference between a medium and The mean average of data set is found by adding all number of data set and then divided by the number of value in the set. The median is the middle value when the data set is ordered from the least to greatest, right? The mode is the number that occur most often in the data set, created by, I don't know who is the Sal Khan, by the way, right? So what I have did, I have just import the library, import pandas, add pd, and the numpy, and here what I had added df data frame. I just name it df, and pd dot read csv, and I have added a path of my csv. In your case, it could be your github data, or I mean the link, or it could be your google drive link, or it could be your website link, or it could be anything. As I'm using a collab, so I have just uploaded my data set here. When I click over here, now we can find the approaches for I mean the download approaches here, right? So what I had here, df.head, I have just printed the 20 record from the head. When I click over here, now we can see that our data set has some NN value, total record are 9, and start from the 0, and your header, if I just click over here, we can see that just I'm coming to print the, I just click on CSV. Now we have a this total, I mean the actual CSV looks like this way. Now we can see that the space empty value is showing a NaN, but the other value is showing as it is, right? So, how to sum up the total missing value in our data set? So, df does is null dot sum. This is the built-in function. Now we can see that the df is sum only the na value, so it ignores other value, right? So it ignores the non-standard value na, right? The column, I mean the dash data minus minus, it has ignored other stuff. So if we if we do not add these non-standard value, or we are not we are not telling the data frame, the pandas, before reading the csv, by reading the csv, if we do not send the value of, I mean we are not telling the panda library that this should be the missing value. If you find this value, consider it a missing as well, then we will not be 100% sure that how many missing value we have. So to this approach, the data engineer is responsible for all that. So that suppose when we are going to feed a model with the data set, so the data engineer is 100% sure that, not 100%, might be the less, but consider it 100%. So the data engineer is 100% responsible for your data, for your accuracy of your data. So what the data engineer do, they discuss all the approaches with the business analyst. Like in the case of data, if we have found a value in this way, so what should be the adjusting value for this one, right? So this is a proper job for the data engineer, but as we are in the phase of learning, so we have to tackle all this stuff by our own selves. So the first approach is that we have defined a missing variable, and I have add a array of the missing value. I have make it a na, consider it also a missing value. Na, consider it a missing value. The minus, I mean the minus minus, consider it also a missing value. So while reading the df, I had just made a df as a variable, df dot pd panda, that is our name of the pd, right? Pd dot uh, read csv, and then we am adding na values as a array of our missing value, and then again I'm printing the df dot head. When I click on this, now we can see that the all the na, the colon minus minus is again a seems working as a NaN, I mean the missing value. So but still we have some unexpected value. The unoccupied is showing a number, the number of bath is showing a early, and also it is showing a 1.5, so it should be integer, but it is not. So these are the still unexpected as a missing value, right? So the one approach is that we can drop a missing value. If I just add a df dot drop na, so it is not doing any kind of stuff. I'm just removing this. So to remove a different, I mean to remove a missing value, we have to identify that a drop, if I don't, this is a one approach subset of your, if you want to drop a only particular row from your particular column, we have to use a subset of pd. We have to enter the name of our column and then replace to. In the case of pid, I'm just adding a pid and replacing with the I mean dropping it, and the and I'm just printing a df. When I click over here, we can see that we have removed the that value, right? And what else we are doing, we are doing another approach. The another approach is, I'm coming over here now. What we are doing, we are just sum up the null value. So the another approach, in the case of unexpected value, how we can tackle make it a unexpected value as a nan, I mean the null value. So there are different approaches people use, but here I'm just doing a parsing with the particular way and then making it a nan. So we can use another approach, like we can use a type of everything or then parsing that, or it could be your own approach, but this is a simple and easiest approach. uh, so that's why I'm just using a for loop. The for loop of df of our column and like unoccupied. Suppose in the case of unoccupied, I'm just making a 12 as a 12 as a nan. So what I am doing, for r in df or your column name and then the column, and then try, this is actually syntax of your loop, and then try catch. So why I'm using the try, in the other language that is called a try catch, but over it is a try and accept exception in simple wording. And then what I'm doing a r as a integer. Why I'm doing r as an integer? Because over here, if this value is parsed as a integer, then we are sure that the value in the unoccupied should not be integer. So that's why we have to just parse it integer. If this is an integer, then mark it a nan. And the expect, I'm just moving that. If that is not passed, then this will automatically throw an exception, and we are just passing that and ignore, move to the next place. And at the end, I'm using a count. Why count? Because the df, because we are moving a row by row, so the df dot location of your count, we can actually pass the row as well, but that will again up will be a your long code for that. So df dot location dot count and your value, and then considering this way. When I'm printing this, I'm just approaching this and printing this. Now we can see that the unoccupied is replaced with the NN, right? When I again clicking the sum of null value, the value is a different. So the another approach that I was discussing, suppose in the case of unoccupied, I can check that with the type. Now we can see that that value that I have just replaced is showing that that value was a float, and this value is also float. This value might be this was a something else, so that's why it has showed here. These two values is a different, right? So that's why it has showed a float, but other value it is showing a integer. I like the string value, sorry, string value. When I again clicking on this, so the another approach, how the first approach that we have used in the case of missing value, the first approach we have used a drop. The another approach we can, that we have over here, the replace. right? Replacing. And in the code, how we can do that, if we have a, suppose in the case of st df dot st num that fill na with 100. When I click over here, unfortunately, yeah, over here, so I'm making it in the column of st underscore num. If there is any value, the null value, fill na with 100. And in place 2, when I click on this, so what it will do, it will do to replace this nan with the 100. The both, we can see that the nan in the both cases is replaced with the 100. And another approach, if you want to add want to replace a specific value or specific index, so we can use a df data location of this your index and your column. And at index 2, suppose here in the at index 2, I'm making it a because array start with the 0, so that's why the 0 1 2, the df dot location 2, I mean the index 2, then your column name, and then the value. If I click over here, now we can see that I have replaced index 3, I mean index 2 with the 100 500. So here it is. Now the another approach is that if I want to, how many technique we have learned so far, drop, that drop your whole column or that drop your whole row. The another approach we have used a fill approach. So that I mean the replace approach. So in that case, we can replace a whole your column with a specific value. The another approach is the median. Like as we have read over here, the median is a middle value from the data set when order from the at least from least to greatest. So here is the median approach. So suppose in the number of bedrooms, here is the number of bedrooms, right? And we want to check that the medium of this one. When you click over here, the medium is showing 0.25. So it will be it calculate with the formula, so it comes to this way. And another approach is here. Let me fill with the number of bedroom with this approach, right? I print out this, again printing this. Now we can see that the number of bedroom is replaced with the median. Now you can see that I have replaced with the 2.5, 2.5 everywhere where the value is a nan. So the another approach is that I have missed over here. The another approach is, we called it a median. That is also same here. So the mean, I'm making it a mean here. The mean is showing, sorry, the mean is this one, 2.375. So how it will work, it will just count all your values and then divided by total of values, right? So it comes up this value mean. So the another approach is that should also work, I believe so, that is a mode. Now you can see that this is a mode of our column. The what the mode do, the mode is, as we have read here, the more occurrence of your particular value. So in this column, number of bedroom, the mode is 2.5 is happening more than all the value. So the another approach, we can replace the mode with suppose I'm coming here again here. Here, and we want to use a number of bed with this value, number of on with the mode. Might be it will not work because we already replaced all this stuff, but this will work in this way. So this is about that we have learned so far with the data wrangling and data cleaning. So we have learned three approaches, I mean the four approaches. Drop, might be the five. We can drop the row or column, the first. The another approach is replacing. We can replace the missing value with a particular value. And then another approach we have learned with the medium, like this one, the medium. And then we have learned a mode is a more occurrence. We can replace a missing value with a more occurrence value that is happening. I mean that value that is appearing more with all the other value, right? And another one is the medium, and the medium, mean, mode, drop, and fill with the particular value. So we can clean our data with five different approaches. And this is that. And I think so this will help us more in our next video. Might be we will cover again a regression problem or some other problem. So I was thinking that this is a better way to just give a little bit overview how we can clean our data set, because in our upcoming video, if we do not have a knowledge about the data cleaning, then that will be create a problem. So that's why today I think that let's start a data cleaning approach. Thank you for watching.